Okay, part 3, and what we have left is the main event, Chris Jericho versus Rey Mysterio. I liked this match, but everyone else seemed to think it was brilliant or something. I didn't see that at all. I thought this was one of the worst matches in their feud. I didn't think it was nowhere close to the Bash. I wasn't really expecting it to be. But they did build this one up. JR even said, I think this is going to be a classic for the start. And I like the whole build-up. I like the fact it was the main event. I like the fact it was for the Intercontinental title, elevating that belt. I like the fact that this was a long match. But I don't think it delivered totally. I saw what they were trying to do. They were trying to wrestle one of the most technically difficult matches I've ever seen. They were really trying for some crazy reversal and crazy reversal. And I won't say they overstretched themselves, because I know Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio on some days could do that match. But today really wasn't that day. Some of the reversals just weren't very good. They were in the Walls of Jericho twice, which I didn't like, because Rey Mysterio didn't tap out either one. And the Walls of Jericho, I mean, Jericho really needs to wrestle some mid-carders and get people to tap out to that, because that move's just losing all potency, even with the crowd popping for it like crazy. Anyway, before the match, Jericho delivers a promo where he just says he's the best in the world at what he does, and he really is. And then he lists his achievements, and he says he's going to win the Intercontinental Championship as well as being tag champion, which of course there's absolutely no way he's going to do, because he'd have to wrestle 2 matches at Night of Champions, but you know, whatever. Plus, Edge wasn't injured by this point, so obviously it wasn't going to happen. This match has a slightly slow and untidy start, not by anyone else's standards, but by Jericho and Mysterio's standards. First thing in this match is Mysterio's on the ring apron and Jericho throws him into the ring post. That was pretty good. There was a good 619 chant. The fans were really getting behind Mysterio. Mysterio hits an enziguri, Jericho goes in the 619 position, and Mysterio goes for it, and then Jericho hits that beautiful torture rack spinning backbreaker that me and Bobby both love. He also hit a Samoa Joe muscle buster position, spinning backbreaker, which I thought looked fucking awesome, but the crowd didn't pop it or anything, which I was kind of surprised at because it looked really good. There were some weak points in this match. There was a weak powerbomb by Jericho, that didn't look really good. Didn't look very good. But there were lots of good things, some pinning combinations. Mysterio went for the 619 at one point, and I think he botched it because he went right the way through the ropes. I don't know if that was intentional. I can't imagine why, but fair enough. There were a few good sequences that really worked. There was one where Mysterio went for a head scissors and Jericho just reversed it straight into a beautiful electric chair. That was awesome. They did the top rope crossbody into the code breaker thing, which was good, but it wasn't nearly as good as the one at the Bash. That's the problem with the code breaker, isn't it? Right? The code breaker, when they get it right, it is the most beautiful move in wrestling. I think it's just absolutely beautiful as a move, but it's clearly very difficult to do, as you can imagine, and as such it goes wrong quite a lot of the time. But it wasn't the best. And that didn't get the 3 count, that code breaker from the springboard, which for me that should always get a 3 count because Jericho covered quite quickly, so I wasn't happy about that at all. Of course Jericho shouldn't win the match, but Jericho gets frustrated and starts kicking at Rey's ribs until Rey finally overcomes him. 619, splash, and the victory. Rey retains the Intercontinental title, no problem with that. Then we had this whole last segment, which just depressed me immensely because Edge and Chris Jericho, this was going to be just a truly great storyline. This was going to be the sort of storyline people would type into YouTube in 10 years' time, looking for the Edge versus Chris Jericho feud. This was going to be awesome. It really was. They'd clearly been planning it right from the beginning when these two were drafted together on Smackdown, because on that very first show, as I recall, Jericho cut a promo where he said, I'm the face of SmackDown, then Edge interrupted them. They've been planning this the whole time. This was going to be a beautiful long storyline, and it's all over now. It's not going to happen, and this just depressed me, because Edge is injured, for anyone who doesn't know. This depressed me because they'd got together a tag team finisher where Edge puts him in a wheelbarrow position and Jericho code breakers him. They did it on Rey Mysterio, and I was like, oh, this could have been so good. Mysterio tries to escape Edge, and then Dolph Ziggler comes to ringside, and Ziggler beats on Mysterio, suggesting, of course, an Intercontinental title feud between the two, which would be pretty damn good, to be honest. That's more where Dolph Ziggler should be. He shouldn't be beating the #1 contender, in my view, #2 contender. Then Edge and Jericho, after beating Mysterio up some more, invite Ziggler into the ring, and he attacks Mysterio. And that's the end of that. There's some talk that either Dolph will go into this Intercontinental title feud, or because Edge got injured, there is some talk that Jericho, that Edge might hand his tag team title belt to Ziggler, and Ziggler will be Jericho's partner. I'm not sure I'd be very happy with that. I mean, it's definitely not going to be anywhere near the sort of storyline that was going to happen. But yeah, I think Dolph should just stay in the Intercontinental title feud. I just hope they don't lose the belts to Legacy, which is inevitably what's going to happen. But yeah, the Mysterio Jericho match was good. Not one of the best. Probably about 3.25 stars. Nothing 3.5 stars. Nothing miraculous, but pretty damn good, particularly for TV. I guess I'm just a bit spoiled with the last 8 or 9 weeks of SmackDown, and this last segment depressed me. Overall, not a very good show at all. Not very much on it that I liked. Lots of bad booking, which undermined everything that I did like. So, yeah, please tell me what you think about SmackDown. Please comment on this video, please rate this video, and subscribe if you wish. Okay, bye.